Hello guys, my name is Shubhankar Mishra and last time we learned the print command, how to download Python, PyCharm and the perfect settings. So if you forgot, the print command was basically print bracket and double quote, and you can enter anything like enter anything. And when we run this, if you remember last time we have to go here and run this like that, it just prints out whatever we said it to print out over here, as basic as that. So today we are going to learn variables, data types, and input command. So let's get started. First, let's right click on project 1, new, Python file, and let's name it main2. So there is where we're going to get started. So I'm pretty sure all of you have heard what variables are, whether they be in maths or physics. So if you don't know, then variable is basically a container in which we can store different values. So for example, I want to store 21 in a variable y. Here is y is equal to 21. And the good thing about variables in Python is that in other programming languages we have to mention the data type. For example, if you take it in C sharp, you have to mention it like this. Uh, so this is what you have to do in C sharp. But in Python, you don't need to mention it like that. Just do it like that. Y is equal to 21. As easy as that. So this is actually a numeric data type. The integer. There's also one more numeric data type which is known as float. So float is basically decimal kind of data type, where we can store a number with a decimal like 332.05 or 129.0743, like that. So these are not all the numeric data types. There are many more, but we'll learn them later. The third data type you want to learn is a string data type. So string is basically a word, a sentence, or an alphabet, basically anything which consists of letters. So let's say y is so I want y to be my Shubhankar and x to be mine. So let's do it like this. Y is equal to, yeah, and don't forget to put the double quote over here. And right over here, Shubhankar x is equal to mine. And yeah, it does not really matter if you put double quote or single quote, it's all the same thing. So now let's print this value. Print let's do it like this. Y. Now when we print this, sorry, here we have to run this, and Shubhankar is mine. I mean, it's kind of funny, but that's how we do it. The fourth data type you want to learn is a Boolean data type. So Boolean is basically a true or false value. You can enter it like this: x is equal to capital T, true. Yeah, and never forget to put the capital T, because if you do it with the lowercase t, it will throw an error because there's no reference such as small t, true. So basically, these are all the data types. The third thing we have to learn is the input command. So the input command is basically taking input from the users. So we as a computer can take anything from them, but what we have to do is ask. So if you do like this, x is equal to input, enter your name. So when we print x, we should be getting it like this. So if I enter my name, see, there we go, I printed back Shubhankar. Yeah, and there's one more important thing we have to learn, which is conversion in Python. So for that, I'll have to show you guys an example. So if you took it that x is equal to input, enter number, and if we have to do an operation such as y is equal to 18 plus x, and then we have to print y, we'll get an error because we can enter a number here, it's all fine, but then it'll throw an error. Because what Python does when it takes an input is it automatically converts it into a string data type. So before doing any operations with operation with a string, we have to convert it into an integer or a float, which is basically the numeric data type. So for doing that, there's a pretty easy way. Python makes it pretty easy. You just have to do this, add one more layer of brackets, and in front of the input command, you can just enter int or float. So so it's the same thing int or float, but the only thing with the float is that it also allows us to enter decimal data types. Thank you guys for watching this video. This was all was there for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.